Hello everyone and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I have a really cool yarn test. So you see here the baby smiles and I want to make some baby shoes to try it out. So it's called Baby Soft and you can see the label here. It's 50 grams, 170 meters or 1.75 ounces and 186 yards, 100% polyester. And yeah, we can wash it in the washing machine. It's saliva resistant and skin friendly. Let's see what else. 4mm crocheting hook or knitting needles. And I have mine here as well. It's the 4mm one too. And yeah, I think that's all we need. If you want this color, 01035. There we go. So this is a light pink shade and we have 50 grams in this ball of yarn and we can get started. So here you can see what I did. And the cool thing is you can't see the structure, like you can't see the actual stitches on here at all because of the yarn itself. And I'll show you what it looks like because I think it's really interesting and it's something a little bit different from what we usually do on the channel. So let me find the beginning thread here. Okay, let me find the end here. Okay, so when I'm holding it, you can see how fluffy it is, but I'm gonna try to separate just the one thread so that we can work with it too. Okay, here is the thread. So you can see it kind of has these little, almost like frayed sections. It's like Crochet yarn that we used to use in some of our projects. So far, I think we tested it already. But it looks really interesting and it's super soft. And yeah, it can get twisted and it doesn't change the way we work with it. But yeah, this is what it looks like close up. Okay, let's get started. So I'm gonna show you how you can do a baby shoe. We'll be doing a slip knot. And if you want to see a knitted version of this, let me know. We might do that as well. Yeah, so we have a slip knot and I'll do a couple of chains. So after a couple of chains, you can see that they're not exactly visible. Like you can still find them kind of on here on the back, but the other side hides them completely. It looks like one thick piece of thread if you don't look at it really close. But yeah, I'll work with the back side just so we know where our chains are and we can work with them. So I did a couple or more than a couple, and I'll do two more. And then I'll go back into the third one from the hook. So the two were for the height. And now we're gonna do a yarn over and go into the third chain. So it might take a little bit of time just because it's not as easily found with the eye as it usually is. But here you can see that we can't recognize the treble at all. So here you're working more with, I guess, your feeling than your eyes, but that's also good practice. So I'm just gonna keep going. We're going in. It works, and as long as you stay concentrated, I think you can find the chains nicely. So I have about a ½ centimeter distance between my trebles, so I can kind of find my way through this. But yeah, it's definitely not as visible as usually. And you can see on here like the top of the trebles, so we will be able to find those spots later, but it is a little bit more challenging and tricky, more than usually at least. And also the hook size is perfect, so I'm having no issues here that it's too thick or too thin. And yeah, you can see these tiny little tails almost on here, or wings, whatever you want to call them, but that's the structure that we're working with. So we just need a bit more confidence, but apart from that, it works. And you can see here, this is what I did just the day. So yeah, now I'm going to show you how you can do the little shoes. Okay, so welcome to the second part of this video, and I'm going to show you on a little bit different yarn how you can do baby shoes. So we're going to do this yarn instead of the first one just so it's a little bit easier to follow, and then you can repeat the same with any yarn of your choice. And you can see here it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to use some trebles and half trebles, and this is what the little shoe looks like. Yeah, so we're basically going to do one piece that we're going to put together then, and it's going to form a little baby shoe. So it's going to be super simple. Even if you're a beginner, you can absolutely do this. And yeah, here is the yarn that I'm going to use. So it's called a baby color from Grunwool, and it's also saliva safe. And we have here 3.5 to 4.5 millimeter crocheting hooks, about 50 grams, 150 meters, 70% acrylic and 30% polyamide. Color number 6 if you want this exact same one. And I'm gonna start with some chains. Today I'm doing the doubled thread, so you can see I'm doing 2 threads, but I'm working with them as if they were just one. And I'm gonna start with 21 chains. That's gonna be our length. There we go, that's the length that we need. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the 21st stitch. So that one's gonna be for the height. I'm gonna do 2 more, and these 3 chains are gonna be instead of the first treble that we do. So we're gonna skip those, and into the 4th one from the hook, I'm gonna go in and do a treble there. There we go. So this replaced the first treble, and then we have the second one after that. And now we're gonna do 1 treble per each chain that we see. And I'm gonna keep doing this till I reach the end of this first row. Okay, so let's count. I'm gonna count this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. Then we can do 3 for the height again. Turn. And we're gonna do a yarn over and do the same thing again. And now I have my second row. Now we're gonna turn this around. We're not gonna do anything for the height. Instead, we're gonna go in and do slip stitches. So for that, I'm not taking a yarn over, I'm just going in and pulling the thread through as I go. that was 8 slip stitches. So I'm gonna divide this into 3 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 1 too many, we need 7. Let me check. 8, okay, there we go. Then we're gonna have a section with 6. There we go here, and the third area is again the leftover stitches. So we have the 21 stitches here, and we're separating them into 3 parts. The middle part is gonna have the sole of the little shoe, and the rest is kind of gonna go around it like this to form the shape or the top of the shoe. But here we're gonna need the sole. So let's work on that. For that, we're going to the middle, and just like I showed you, we're gonna do some slip stitches to get there. So we're gonna have 2 times 8 stitches on each end and 6 stitches for the sole in the middle. And 8, there we go. That's the first section, and the last one is going to be on the other end. So now we're going to do the sole here. So for that, we're going to start with the slip stitch and do 2 chains for the height. And that's going to be the replacement for the first stitch. Then we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to do a single crochet. So not a treble this time, which means yarn over, through, and then through all 3 loops on our hook. And we're going to need 6 of these. Okay, so the 5 plus the chains is what we need. And here, 8, and yeah, 8 is what we're going to have at the other end. So it's symmetrical. So now we're going to take 2 for the height, turn, and again do another row with single crochets. And I'm gonna do the sole as long as this piece right here so that they match. So the width here is the same width of the top section here. That's also aligned. And we're going to connect those areas really soon. And I'm telling you all this, if you want a bigger or smaller size, you can absolutely adjust it, but you just need to take care that the sections are equally wide or equally long, no matter how many stitches you do. We need a little bit more, but the width is nice, so just a little bit more in length. Okay, so my basis is done, and you can see it looks kind of funny. It looks like a reverse T letter. And yeah, we're gonna connect these two like this, and there's gonna be a little opening on here that you can put it onto your baby's foot, and the other one is right here in the back, the blue version. And yeah, we can now connect all of the edges, so the left and the right, or the right and the left, as well as the top section to end with. And yeah, that's all we're gonna do for today. So I'll take the left side and I'll align it with the middle. And then I'm gonna take my hook, go through the one side and the other, or the one piece and the other, and do slip stitches for one slip stitch for every stitch that we have. And now we're going to do this one side first. So here in this section between the base and the sole, we're going to do some slip stitches too, just to get to the section that we need to get to. Then we can get started with the other side, basically the same thing again, but from the other direction, so from the end to the tip. You can see it's closing up all by itself, or with our stitches. And you can see here the front that we're gonna do the exact same way. Just make sure you align everything. In this case, you're gonna have a little bit more stitches to work with. So I'm exactly where I want to be, or where I started, which means that we're done with the connecting, and what we can do now is pull the thread through one more time. So through, do a slip stitch, and then pull out. And we can also shorten that and weave that in, and we're pretty much done. So I'll show you the other one as well. We kind of have a pink and a black, a pink and a blue version. But the yarn has both colors in it, and this is what we have for our baby shoes. Okay, so I shortened the thread, I pulled it out, and now we're gonna weave it in. So here we have the beginning and the end thread. And the double knot to secure it. Then we can weave it in, shorten a little bit again. We don't need that much, but our baby shoe is done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to shoot a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell. See you next time. Have a great day. Bye!